Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're watching from. I didn't get to come on yesterday, so sorry about that. You see my kitty in the window? I think that's actually going to happen a lot, though, because, first off, do you like my hair? Be jealous, guys, because my daughter did this in a cost cutter, which she was interviewing. She was doing like a practical interview for the job, and the lady was just blown away by this haircut. So was I. This is the best haircut I've ever had. And my 18-year-old daughter gave it to me. So super excited about my haircut that is blessing me and blessing her at the same time. So anyway, I have so much on my mind, and I have something really important that I want to talk to you guys about. So this may be a little bit longer of a video, but I'm really, really feeling strongly about this. So here's the thing. I recently, like a couple days ago, wrote an article called Stress is Optional. And I knew I was probably going to get quite a reaction from that article. But it's something I'm so passionate about that I have to share. And I should have named the article maybe something more like how I've gotten rid of 95% of my stress. And I think from now on, instead of trying to teach from a place of like an instructor or something, I want to simply share my experience, because I've been attacked also. I spent a lot of time in the school system because of my kids, and because I was a paraprofessional for a while. And so, and I just have kind of a preacher/teacher heart. And so a lot of times when I talk, and I have kids, and so constantly, kind of preaching, telling my opinion as if it's fact, and which is what teachers do, because they're trying to explain things. And so it gets very confusing if you explain something as if maybe it's true, maybe it's not. You know what I mean? I hope I'm not babbling, but I've had one person let me know that I really need to go to college and get a degree before I can teach people all this stuff. And I'm glad she said that, because I know if one person tells you an opinion, then you can be sure that a lot of other people have that opinion. They're just not saying it, because most of the time we have opinions we don't share. But I get a lot more positive feedback, and the same goes for positive feedback. So I'm not saying that I'm going to stop teaching altogether and, throw this in the trash, because there's no way I'm getting my degree. I tried. I have tried from 2006 until this time, until 2015, to get a degree. And I'm like 12 credits shy of a human services degree, which is not my calling anymore. So I don't want to pig trail there, but what I want to say is I'm probably never getting a psychology degree of any kind, but I understand psychology quite well, at least my psychology. And just with talking with other people, I feel like I have a really good understanding. However, because I do not have a degree, and because I don't want people to think that this is coming from a professional, I'm going to endeavor to share my thoughts from a place of, this is what I have experienced, and hopefully my experience can help you. So anyway, what I want to share with you today, I don't know how much personal information to give out, because I have some things going on that I think I'm not the only one involved. I don't want to share information about family and friends that is not mine to share. So I won't say too much, but what I will say is that because of situations out of my control and my husband's control, he is earning probably a third of what he should be earning. And I have 20 years experience in the child care and elder care. I kind of switched back and forth for a while, but in the care industry. And I have chronic fatigue, and I have some other things. So I'm just burnout. So I've recently, the last time I nannied was in October 2017. And I will not go back to the care industry just because, for several reasons. But anyway, so we have that. And so now I'm looking for work. I can't do a typical 40 hours a week. I've tried. It's just not possible. I'm getting emotional. There are a lot of emotional issues that go on with this. But anyway, I get really emotional. I think a lot of us do, talking about finances. But that's not what I want to talk about today. Goodness, not a very good example. Or maybe it is. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be frustrated. And it's okay to feel these things. And maybe this is a good example, because what I really want to share is that life gives us a certain amount of obstacles, stress, pain. It presents us with these things. But in my life, what I've experienced is that where life hands me maybe 5% of my total, and this is no longer true, but where life hands me 5% of my pain and suffering or whatever, I was adding the 95% of the rest of my pain and suffering to that. And the way I was doing that is by acting negatively, by blaming other people for my situation, for by staying stuck in situations because I took my power away by saying I don't have any choices here, by not radically accepting situations, and by not facing them, just hiding from them, hiding from emotional pain, hiding from circumstances and all this. Okay. Sorry, I need to blow my nose. I'm planning on putting this on YouTube, so I probably will edit it first. Hold on a second. I don't want to stop the video because then you'll have to log into two videos, but let me get the cleaners. Okay, I'm back. This being a live video, it's a little bit different. If you want to get the edited version, I will put a link on here to the YouTube video. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, when we face, it's so magical, you guys. When we face the pain and suffering that is presented to us by life, it lessens. It goes away because we begin to see how much of that pain and suffering actually exists. Have you ever had stage fright? You were going to go on stage and speak to some people, and you were so nervous. And for hours or even days or weeks before you had to do it, you tormented yourself because you were so afraid. And listen, please don't hear me say that it was my deliberate choice to add pain and suffering to my life. This is just how it was. And this is just, I did the best I could with the skills I had. And I've been able to overcome a lot of things by using mindfulness, radical acceptance, gratefulness, and a slew of other things. I don't place blame anymore. Anyway, I've found that it's a useless thing to do. Unless you're a judge or on a jury, you don't need to do it. You just don't. It's not useful. Apart from making the decisions you need to make, judgment is not. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. So I'm losing my train of thought. Yep, there it goes. It's gone. Somebody got on here to watch me and now they're gone. I feel loved. Just kidding. All right, guys. I'm going to write a book. And it's just going to be my story. And I'm going to write it. I've been trying to write my book about my story. And I've been looking at the appropriate ways to do it. I've been looking at book templates, and I've been looking at just all kinds of things to be able to write this book. And what I finally figured out is the best books do not follow any pattern. The best books are just from the heart. And when you speak from your heart, from your soul, that's that authenticness comes through, and it reaches other people on a level that all those other books can't quite reach. So I'm just going to write it, and I don't know how it'll turn out, but I'm just going to write it. So hopefully it will help someone. Like I said, it's just going to be, this is my experience. This is how my perspective grew and changed as I've gone through life. So I'm sorry for kind of losing my train of thought. I know I was talking about how we add so much pain and suffering. I learned this from a book, Dancing with Life by Philip Moffitt, is when I got this revelation where I finally figured out it doesn't really matter whose fault it is. It doesn't matter. It's like your mom always tried to tell you, like, well, he started it. Well, it doesn't matter who started the fight. The fight is destructive and we need to stop fighting. And we kind of do this to ourselves. We focus so much on who is at fault for our problems that we waste so much time and energy that we could be using to solve the problem, right? And really, I've come to the place also where I don't view problems in the traditional way where we're like comparing problems and saying, oh, I have this big insurmountable, disability or problem, and why does life put more on me than it does on other people? And it's not fair. Problems are bad. Problems are not bad. Can you imagine how boring your life would be if you had no problems? I mean, think about it. Think about what you see as problems in your life, and if they just vanished, you would be relaxed and happy for a little while because you'd be able to get the rest that you haven't been giving yourself. But after that, I think you'd start to get pretty bored. And you'd probably start to create problems for yourself, because problems are just our avenue for growth. And they're just arrows. They're pointing the way. There's signposts saying, go this way, because we get distracted so much. Anyway, like I said, I have a book's worth of information here. So I'm going to be writing that book if I'm not on here as often. I like to do the 30 days to kind of keep myself on track. And I hope that I'm able to help one or two more people do the same. But I think until I get the book written, I'm going to hop on here when I can and, not let my focus be so much on making sure I get on here every day. So anyway, I could go on, and I really don't want to. I hope my rambling helped somebody today. I hope I at least got you thinking. And if you can view your problems as something good, as life trying to show you a beautiful aspect, then, it's just life-changing, or it was for me. Maybe that's not how it works out for you. But in my circumstance, in my life, viewing my problems as something to expand me, something to show me a more beautiful world has really, really helped. So these problems that I'm facing financially, I'm just keeping my heart open, and I'm just saying, what can I learn? What is life trying to teach me? And I'm just giving whatever I can't control to God. I'm just handing it over because I can't control it. How insane are we to hold on to all this stuff we can't control? How is that helping? It's never, I don't know how. Again, I'm practicing here. How insane was it for me to hold on to all the resentment and all the grudges? I felt very mistreated in my marriage, and I felt, and I still do. There are some pains that I don't think ever fully go away. But now I look back and I think to myself, a lot of the pain and suffering that I was in was of my own creation. Because nobody had locked the door on me. Nobody tied me to a chair. I blame my circumstances for keeping me in my marriage for so long. And I was not married to a man who was forcing me to do anything at all. And so if I felt that he was too critical, too negative, and that he was manipulative and all this stuff, if I felt that, why didn't I leave? So anyway, like I said, it's insanity to hold on to things, to just really want this person to change. I wanted him to change. I kept telling him, this is how I need you to change. And he wouldn't do it. And so because he would not change for me, I said, he doesn't love me. Well, it's ridiculous for me to worry about whether he loves me or not. I need to love me. And loving me would have been and was getting out of there and saying, I'm too sensitive of a soul to live under this level of criticism. I'm too sensitive. But instead, I said, well, a good person stays in their marriage no matter what. So I'm going to stay here and continue to have suicidal thoughts and continue to hold myself back from creating plans to end my life. You guys, it was just pure insanity. Until finally I couldn't do it anymore. But anyway, God, I'm so sorry for getting so emotional. This is something else I've found with myself in my journey. Right before a breakthrough, right before a shift, there is this outflow of emotion, and I think it's purging old beliefs. It's like when you go on a detox diet and your stomach reacts by letting loose. I don't know if you've ever experienced this. I think it's an emotional, I'm detoxing, and I'm about to reach a new level. And so I'm happy, I'm glad that these emotions are coming out, because that means, for me, that means growth. So growth is about to happen, and I'm facing a lot of A lot of fears that I have created. Let me tell you something. That's what I've learned, is that every fear in my life has turned out to be something I created. It's a monster I created for myself because of my false beliefs. And I know that may be way too out there for a lot of people. If I had said this to myself, my 2012 self, even probably my 2014 self, maybe 2015, I was starting to get there. If I had told myself that all my fears were created by me, I would have told myself that I was completely insane. So if you think I'm completely insane, I get it. I totally get it. But for me, that's where I'm at right now. I look back and I see all those fears that I created yesterday, in all of my yesterdays, and I realize I made them up because of my false beliefs, because of things that, things we learn. And I still have a lot of fear in me. And so I'm breaking them down. I'm like, how did I create this fear, and how can I let it go? And so I think one fear that I'm really working on letting go is that money controls me. And I just don't think that's true. I control me. I mean, look at Jesus, look at Mother Teresa, like Gandhi. I don't know, there's all these examples of these amazing people who chose not to even deal with money. They just spoke their love, they did their mission, and they didn't earn a living. They didn't, Mother Teresa never asked for money from the, call them lepers. They had leprosy. She didn't ask for any money when she treated them. She didn't ask for any money when she ran orphanages. She never asked for any money, except from the church. She's like, look, guys, if you want me to continue this or that mission, then I need money. If not, I'll go do something else. But these people did not allow money to be an issue. They just didn't. They just said, well, I'm going to follow God, and if he provides, he provides, and if he doesn't, I mean, look, Jesus ended up on a cross. But you know what? Here's the crazy thing about that, and I didn't think I was going to go on this long, because I do apologize, but it's just coming out of me now, so I'm just going to let it. The world has been in existence, they say, for billions of years, our little planet. You and I, or again, applying this just to me, I may have 99, 100, maybe with technology and medical advancements, let's just say I have 130 total years of life. I'm 42, so that means what? I have 88 years? That's pretty good. I have 88 years left of life, right? What percentage is 88 of a billion? What's the percentage there? We have created our fear of death. We have created our fear of pain. It's just death. It's just pain. It happens. So our running from it is useless. Our running from pain and death is us creating more pain and more death. Because I tell you what, you're going to live a much longer life if you let go of your fear of death. Isn't that ironic? If you let go of your fear of death, okay, again, practicing. If I let go of my fear of death, I will live a much longer life. And oddly enough, this has never been something that I've ever been worried about. I hear people talk about their fear of death. I've never had that fear. I don't know why. I have never been afraid to die. And I think that's why the suicidal thoughts were so scary. I was afraid to leave my children. And so that's why I never took my life. now I realize that life is so interesting. It's so beautiful, and it's so terrifying, and it's so weird, and it's so wonderful. And I don't know what comes next, but I'm only here for so long. So I'm going to enjoy it while I'm here. I don't just watch movies where there's bubblegum and balloons. I watch movies where there's tragedy and things to overcome and, problems, because that's interesting to me. It wouldn't be interesting just to watch a bunch of people happily dancing around. It would be a boring movie. So I live my life like it's the adventure that it is. And when problems come, I always say the bigger the problem, the better the story. And that's just how I'm going to live it. Jesus lived 33 years, and ever since his life, people have been impacted by him one way or another, however they chose to have that impact. So I've lived 42, so I have 9 years on Jesus. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's right. Did he have 33 years? 32. I can't remember. But anyway, I've had more. So the number of years you live really doesn't matter. It really is this living in the moment movement, this mindfulness movement is so magical, because it helps you to let go of feeling like you wasted so much time in the past, and feeling like your future isn't going to be what you want it to be. Because when you live right now, all you have is what you have in your environment around you. I don't have anybody in my moment right now. My daughter's sleeping upstairs, so I have the knowledge that she's physically there, and I have the knowledge that my son is in North Dakota, and my other daughter, my 18-year-old, is in Westminster. And right now I have my 2 adorable male cats, and I have my adorable, naughty, very obnoxious toy poodle who's looking at me like, "Oh, you're lying. I'm a good girl. Oh, John." That's what I have, and I have some random stuff here. But really, do I have all kinds of debt, and do I have all kinds of financial issues? Yes, but they're not affecting me in this moment, So basically, if you want to know what I do to control my stress level, is when I need to make a plan to solve problems, I make a plan. And the rest of the time, I don't worry about it. I do not worry about it. And when it gets brought to my attention again, I address the plan that I have in action and decide, does this plan need changing? That's it. 99% of your waking hours, you don't need to worry about your problems. Maybe not 99%. I don't know. Most of your day is spent in action. It's not spent in decision making. Watch yourself as you go through your day. When you're washing your hands in the bathroom, all you need to do is wash your hands. So be mindful while you do it. Experience washing your hands. Be grateful for the water. There's times when you turn on the faucet and somebody said, "Oh yeah, they turned the water off for a few hours." And you're like, well, how am I supposed to wash my hands, right? So be grateful that that's not in this moment. You don't have to worry about that. You have water and you have soap. And I do this almost every time I wash my hands. I notice I'm washing my hands, and I just stay there. Same amount of time that I normally do, but I just observe. And I think the reason that it's magical is because we're so used to staying in our head and our worries constantly. We don't even realize we're washing our hands. We don't notice that we're washing dishes. We don't notice, even sometimes we're sitting and watching TV with someone and our mind wanders because we're like, I have a Verizon bill and I have a Geico bill, and those amount to what Hoon is going to be paid. And so, groceries would be nice. Gas would be nice. Oh. So, I'm looking for work. it's obvious that we need more income. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling for now. I love you so much. I appreciate anybody who comes on here and watches, and anybody who doesn't. I appreciate everyone. I love you guys so much. And I just hope you have an amazing day. And I will see you next time.